This training video is a capture of an interactive online training module. While this training video provides you with valuable content, the optimal experience can only be had by navigating to the ExtremeNetworks website and accessing this interactive training through our Educational Services portal. Welcome to the training module implementing the InSite XML SDK using C#. This training module is brought to you by ExtremeNetworks. First, let's go over the objectives and what you can expect to learn from this training module. At the end of this learning experience, you will be able to provide an overview of the ExtremeXOS InSite XML SDK, list the various pieces you will need to build a Microsoft C# development platform, integrate the SDK into a Microsoft Visual C# 2008 Express Edition environment, and write a program to create and delete a VLAN on an ExtremeNetworks switch. The XML, or Extensible Markup Language, SDK, or Software Development Kit, provides developers with an Application Program Interface, or API. When using an API, a programmer is able to take advantage of computer code that they did not write. An API enables the programmer to call routines that were written by somebody else. These routines can exist in a library or on another system. On ExtremeNetworks switches, version 12.0 and greater, the system provides a web service that can be accessed using standard software development tools. The bridge between the development tools and the web service running on the ExtremeNetworks switch is the XML SDK. The SDK provides information to the development tools, C#, Perl, Java, or others, on how to interact with the switch. The SDK provides instructions to the development environment on how to set and get configuration parameters. It also provides information on which methods or functions are available to the developer. The ExtremeNetworks InSite XML SDK has three components. The first component is the documentation. The documentation is a mixture of PDF and HTML files. The HTML files include an API reference, pointers to XOS documentation, and links to XML specifications on the web. The PDF file included in the documentation is the ExtremeXOS InSite Quick Start Guide. The second component of the InSite XML SDK is the example code. There are examples for using the API with Java and Perl. The third component of the InSite XML SDK are the supporting XML files. The WSDL, or Web Services Description Language files, and XSD, or XML schema files. The WSDL files are the parts of the InSite XML SDK that describe the various web services running on the ExtremeNetworks switch. The XSD files describe the data that is to be passed between the client and the web service running on the ExtremeNetworks switch. There are a number of resources that you will need in order to begin using the InSite XML SDK with Microsoft's C#. First, go to the ExtremeNetworks website and navigate to the link www.extremenetworks.com/solutions/insight.aspx. You'll find several versions of the SDK. Select the version that is most appropriate for your application. Once you download the ExtremeXOS InSite XML SDK file, you will need to decompress the gzip file and extract the tar archive file. The program 7-zip is a free tool that can accomplish these tasks. If you choose to use the 7-zip program, You can install the ExtremeXOS InSite XML SDK in 2 steps. The first step is to decompress the gzip file .gz to the same folder by right-clicking on the file's icon and selecting the Extract Here option. After you have uncompressed the gzip file, you are left with a tar or tape archive file. If you are using the 7-zip program, right-click on the tar file icon and select the option that will place the files in a directory structure that reflects the name of the tar file. This option is displayed on the screen as the 4th option from the top. To use the examples in this training course, you should have Microsoft's Visual C# 2008 installed on your development system. If you don't have Microsoft's C# installed, you can use Microsoft's Visual C# 2008 Express Edition. This is a free development system provided by Microsoft. Go to Microsoft's website to obtain the IDE. The URL is www.microsoft.com/express/BC#. This development platform requires version 3.5 of the .NET framework. SQL is optional. Now that you have the C# IDE installed, it's time to integrate the ExtremeXOS InSite XML SDK into your development projects. There are 3 steps to integrating the IDE. Step 1. Start the C# IDE. Step 2. Create a new project or open an existing project. This step is necessary because the XML SDK is integrated into individual projects and is not installed globally into the IDE. The third and final step is to integrate the ExtremeXOS InSite XML SDK files. I'm not going to provide you with instructions on how to start the C# IDE. I'm also not going to tell you how to create a new project or open an existing project. I'm assuming you know how to accomplish these tasks. Instead, I'll focus on describing how to integrate the ExtremeXOS InSite XML SDK into your project. Step 1. Right-click on the project name in the Solution Explorer window. If you don't see the Solution Explorer window, click on the View menu and select the Solution Explorer menu item. Step 2. Select the Add Service Reference menu item. Let's continue with integrating the XML SDK into your projects. Step 3. Enter the complete path to each of the .WSDL files that will be used in your project. More than likely, you will integrate the switch.WSDL file and the exos.WSDL file. Unfortunately, because this panel does not allow you to browse for the file you wish to integrate, you will have to enter the path to these files into the file input box manually. Remember to include both the path and the file name in the input box. Step 4. Enter the name that you wish to be used to reference this file. You should try to use a name that is descriptive of this module. For example, the name switch.WSDL, all one word, is used to refer to the switch.WSDL file. Also, the name exos.WSDL, once again all one word, is used to refer to the exos.WSDL file. Step 5. To make the magic happen, click on the Go button. If you have successfully integrated the InSite XML SDK files into your project, you should see it listed in the Solution Explorer pane by the name you entered in the namespace input box.